Dr. Skull, PhD, I support you guys, but how do we stay positive in the face of this absolutely miserable shit and news regarding Trump and now Connolly? I've been massively depressed since Trump won the election. Yeah, I don't blame you. But, I mean, the reality is things can get worse, and things have been worse in this country. And even worse for just like, your average white person, certainly far worse for marginalized people, which is not to say that people shouldn't be upset, alarmed, depressed. And there's time for that. But then there's also time to move on and keep fighting.
Yep, this is the world.
I mean, look, this Connolly thing with AOC is extremely discouraging because it, at least from my perspective, from like just a public perspective, it looks like she's trying everything she can to first to build power outside, sort of like on the margins of the party, and now more to play ball in many respects with the party, and still can't crack it. But the problem is, if we're talking about elected politicians, I guess she could run as an independent. And I think she could win as an independent, but like Bernie Sanders did, and he was in the House for, like I say, maybe almost 2 decades. I think it was like maybe 15 years. I can't remember, 20 years, somewhere around there. You can be a voice in the wilderness and not have, any influence. Now, Sanders was able to go on and win as a senator and actually have a lot of influence and to run. And it's possible that could work. But until there's I think at that point, it's like she's going to pursue the way to power that she's going to pursue. And that in no way inhibits other people to build other sources of power.
Exactly.
And if you build those sources of power, whether it's like third party run for Congress or, local elections or organizing your apartment building or, organizing your workplace, once you obtain some power, once you can deliver something, then people can make the decision whether they want to throw that power behind her or work on her within conjunction of this and that. But I think that there's no, should she resign from Congress now? I hope she doesn't.
Oh, what?
I mean, no, I'm just saying, but I'm saying what's the alternative here? She's trying what she can.
Yeah.
It's, other people should be doing stuff that is in no way inhibited by what she does. I mean, people say, well, how could you continue to support her? Because it doesn't cost me anything. Maybe I make a donation or, maybe, but this is there are parameters. How far she can push those parameters, I want her to be able to push those within the House. But you have a legislature to get things done. She has an Instagram account. She has pushed people to the left as much as she's going to push people to the left on an Instagram account. She's pushed people to the left as much as she can on a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that we need lawmakers who have power within those caucuses. And we're not going to find one who's going to have power in the Republican caucus. And there's only one other caucus. So when we're talking about the parameters of the species of lawmaker, where does she fit on that spectrum? There's half a dozen, maybe still, who I think, I feel good about their politics. There are definitely votes that she's taken that I do not like. The anti-Semitism, one, just because it was in the past week, comes to mind. The idea that, she was trading the vague promise of not getting involved in primaries in the event that she was going to get elected to, what amounts to at least closer to leadership in the House.
I didn't like how she was trying to prop up the idea that Biden should stay in the race. Like, that was something that I thought was harmful. But at the end of the day,
there's too much focus on AOC. Like, if people are listening to this, we need you to run and get power. And if that is through a sclerotic Democratic Party that doesn't have the ability to kneecap you, or if you can win in a state like New York with a party that does, or if it's independently, but that's fundamentally what we need, the skill set we need. And I think people get too focused on both sides of the anti-third party people or the you vote blue no matter who type people. The party is too much of a concern right now. Like, we need people who know how to drive before we can get people into a driver's seat.
Cole from Michigan, she doesn't have power if she can't be on committees. Yeah, I mean, that's the point. All right, 5 more. Miller time. What's your go-to alcohol cocktail?
we know this. Pina colada.
I had a couple pina coladas on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Garrett from Nova. Friendly neighborhood pediatrician here. We have massively increased screenings for autism, changed how we diagnosed it, become more aware of presentations. Anytime someone talks about increases in autism rates, I want to tear my head out. Thank God for Nutrafol. Hey, with Trump's inauguration coming up, we're already seeing what the next 4 years will look like. His senior campaign official threatened Pennsylvania election workers with jail time for counting mail-in ballots with technical errors like missing dates. The real issue with that? Only one left-leaning outlet has covered this story, leaving Trump's base room to dominate the narrative. This isn't just about Pennsylvania. It's a preview of the tactics we're going to see for the next 4 years, so we can't afford not to pay attention. That's why I've been a longtime partner with Ground News. It's an independent app and website that shows us how important stories shaping our lives get covered or ignored across the political spectrum. Plus, it gives context on why they might be missing from our feeds in the first place. For those of you feeling politically burnt out, Ground News makes it easy to stay informed without feeling overwhelmed. Their daily briefings give you a quick, factual breakdowns of the day's biggest stories from every angle. They are also knocking down the price of their top-tier Vantage plan to under $5 a month for our listeners. Just go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to subscribe. It's their biggest discount of the year. And maybe even gift one to someone you know. By supporting Ground News, you're not just supporting my channel, you're ensuring independent voices don't disappear. Because what's happening in Pennsylvania is a warning. If we don't push back now, the next election is going to be even harder. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.